Forget weddings. The real party is divorce. Because these days, saying, "I'm divorced," doesn't mean I failed. It means I finally upgraded my life. Divorce isn't a tragedy anymore, it's a rebrand. It's your soft reset, your personal renaissance, your new era. We were raised to think marriage is the ultimate goal, the happy ending, the trophy for doing life right. But for millions of people, that happily ever after quietly became a full-time job of pretending. So today, let's talk about why divorce is the new blow-up, why it's not the end of your story, but the most powerful beginning of it. Because let's be honest, divorce is just venture capital for your glow-up. For decades, marriage was marketed as the dream, the perfect partner, the big house, the forever. But behind the filters and smiling family photos, there's often compromise and silence. You start saying "we" so much that you forget me. You start asking for permission instead of making decisions. You start negotiating your peace to keep the illusion alive. You tell yourself, this is just a rough patch. This is normal. This is what marriage takes. Until one day, it hits you. The price of staying is your peace of mind. And the moment you choose to leave, that's when you take your power back. It's terrifying, yes. But suddenly, you start breathing again. You start rediscovering what it means to wake up and not feel drained. You start remembering what makes you happy, not as half of a couple, but as a whole person. Divorce isn't a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. It's not losing someone, it's regaining yourself. Heartbreak hurts. There's no sugarcoating it. It shakes your confidence. It makes you question everything, your choices, your worth, your future. But pain is the most honest teacher you'll ever have. Because once you survive it, you're unstoppable. You start therapy, you cry, you rest, you rebuild. You begin journaling, meditating, going on walks just to think. You learn how to sit with yourself, maybe for the first time in years. And in that space, something shifts. You start dressing how you like. You stop asking for validation. You start prioritizing peace over people-pleasing. One day, someone says, "You look happier." And they're right. That's not a new love glow. That's healing glow. It's what happens when you stop performing and start living. When you stop surviving and start thriving. You glow when you let go of the person who drained you. You glow when you rebuild yourself from scratch, without fear. You glow because you finally came home, to you. Here's a hot take. Divorce isn't a loss. It's an investment in yourself. Sure, it can be expensive. Lawyers, paperwork, therapy, moving costs, it adds up. But what you're really buying is freedom. You're reinvesting your most valuable assets, your time, energy, and peace, into you. You start taking that course you never had time for. You move cities. You take that solo trip you always postponed. You start eating better, sleeping better, dreaming bigger. It's not about revenge or showing anyone what they lost. It's about building what you almost forgot you deserved. Every dollar and every ounce of energy you pour into yourself is ROI for your peace. You don't lose value when you leave. You redistribute it back to the person who earned it, you. Now, let's talk about something fun: divorce parties. Yes, they're real and they're epic. People are celebrating freedom with as much joy as they once celebrated marriage. Cakes that say, "Finally free." Playlists titled "Boy, Bye." Dresses that scream "I survived." Champagne popping. Laughing with friends until 3 a.m. Because it's not a funeral, it's a rebirth. We don't shame people for quitting toxic jobs, so why shame them for leaving toxic marriages? You're not celebrating the failure of love, you're celebrating the courage it takes to choose yourself. Leaving isn't failure, it's freedom. And these parties aren't about revenge, they're about joy. They're a symbolic moment of closure, self-respect, and rebirth. It's saying, "I made it through the storm, and I'm still standing." After divorce, something deeper happens: you rebuild your mind. For the first time in years, you're not defined by someone else's opinion of you. You stop being his wife or her husband. You start being you without labels, without rules, without rules. You start asking yourself the questions that matter. Who am I now? What do I actually want from life? What kind of peace do I deserve? You realize your worth was never tied to a ring or a relationship status. Your peace is priceless. Your joy doesn't need permission. You become whole again, not because you found someone new, but because you stopped losing yourself for someone old. You're not bitter, you're better. You're not broken, you're rebuilt. And that rebrand? That's the real blow up. Let's face it, the world is catching up. Celebrities, influencers, and even everyday people are rewriting the divorce story. Adele didn't fall apart after her divorce. She made one of the best albums of her career. Giselle Bündchen didn't disappear, she flourished. J. Lo, she reinvented herself twice. Even men are embracing it differently, turning pain into purpose, heartbreak into hustle. The stigma is fading because people finally see it. Marriage isn't the peak of your life. It's just a chapter. And divorce? It's the bold plot twist that makes your story interesting. The new message isn't stay forever. It's stay true. Because forever means nothing if you lose yourself along the way. If this video helped you see endings in a new life, hit like, share it with someone who needs that reminder, and subscribe for more deep dives into money, love, and self-respect. Divorce isn't the end of your story. It's the investment that funds your next chapter. You're not falling apart, you're falling into yourself. And that is the real glow up. Because remember, divorce is just venture capital for your glow up.